YouTube, how's it going? The GOAT House is back, and we're getting started on our player rankings by position for the upcoming 2022 season, where I predict with these rankings. We're not basing it off the past. We're predicting how they will play the upcoming season, starting with this video, the starting quarterbacks from 32 to 1. Very excited about this. You guys can play along in the comments. You're always playing along on Twitter. Always interact with you guys on there. News, rumors, updates, and more. So check us out. It's on your screen at GoatHouse NFL. Link down below as well. Like, subscribe, turn notifications on. Again, we're going to rank every position group. We're going to rank offenses, defenses, units, duos, everything like that. So really excited about the season. Join us for all of that content. Again, full NFL coverage here. Starting quarterbacks from 32 to 1. Again, predicting the upcoming season with these rankings. That's how we do it. So 32 is a Panthers quarterback, which the Panthers are a big reason why I started to put this video off a little bit. I usually do it a little earlier, but do we know who the Panthers starting quarterback will be? Do we know the Browns? We kind of know. The Seahawks, do we know those teams starting quarterbacks? But yeah, the Panthers would be much higher with their quarterback here. If it's Baker or Jimmy, we'll wait and see. But I got Darnold at 32. Just couldn't get the job done. The quarterback play was holding them back last year. They had the weapons. They had a good defense. It was just the quarterback play holding them back. Even the coaching staff got ripped, as they should, but maybe ripped a little bit too much. Just so much you could do with limited quarterback play there. So Darnold will be at 32. I'm predicting Darnold will be the starting quarterback for the Panthers as it sits on who's on their team. Corral, I'd predict to take over for Darnold somewhat early. Corral, not really a pro-ready quarterback, an upside quarterback, coming from that Lane Kiffin offense, a lot of RPO. Unless the Panthers want to run that, I don't really think so. So maybe some time to learn a little bit there for Matt Corral. So that's why I don't think he will start, even though I think he'd be better than Darnold. Yeah, I think Deshaun Watson will miss the season, at least a chunk of the season. So we went ahead and ranked Jacoby Brissett, who, he's going into a pretty good roster, pretty good situation, so that could help his ranking, I suppose, if you want to predict him to be better. But he's had his chances and haven't really fully found a way to execute, finish off games, win games, so I got him at 31. But, obviously Deshaun Watson will be ranked pretty damn high if he plays most of the season or the start of it, which I don't think so. Geno Smith at 30. Geno Smith's just much better than Drew Lock, so I think he will start. Maybe the Seahawks are trying to tank and see what Drew Lock has, so I guess that could be understandable. But Geno was, he wasn't great when he came in, but he was maybe a little bit better than expected. He was okay, so I ranked Geno Smith, got him at 30. Marcus Mariota, I have at 29, who I'm rooting for, very likable guy there, but he's got some big targets with Pitts and London. Not the best supporting cast there. Is back with Arthur Smith in that offense. So excited to see, I guess, not a lot of people are excited about it, but it's a new look Falcons offense. So curious to see, I suppose, on what I do think there's a pretty big gap after, Mariota and the guys listed with him. I think he's much higher than them, even though it's one spot. It's just how it goes here with some of these quarterbacks. Next up, we got Kenny Pickett at 28, and I think the situation he's going into, and I do think he'll start over Trubisky, pretty much because they have. Well, I think he could be better than Trubisky, but pretty much because they have to. I mean, you draft pick in that quarterback class, that type of quarterback class. Pickett wasn't the best overall player on the board. Not talking quarterback player on the board. And you took the most pro-ready from an interesting quarterback class to sit him. That wouldn't make any sense at all. So I really think they're going to start Pickett here. He's got a good supporting cast. He's got a good situation, good coaching staff. So maybe expect to see him in the bottom of this list, but maybe play a little bit better. I like his ability to throw over the middle of the field. I talked about it before, especially my valuation pre-draft and after. NFL zone coverages, trap coverages, I think could give him some problems, especially when he's trying to throw the sideline. Therefore, more interceptions could happen. We'll see, though. Pretty good situation. Daniel Jones at 27, who could play a little bit better with Brian Daboll, a better staff in there for the New York Giants. That could help a little bit. Just not fully trusting him to figure it out. I can trust him to play a little bit better. How much better? Needs to take care of the ball in crucial situations. A sneaky runner, obviously, but definitely needs to play a lot better. Will we get that from him? Davis Mills played all right last year. I guess better than expected. Could take care of the ball a little bit better. Still kind of mystery. I think everyone kind of agrees with that. Still a little bit up in the air on what we're going to get from a full-time Davis Mills starting quarterback here. Maybe they get better. Offensive line could be a little bit better. They get John Mechie to the receiver group, so maybe they can help him out a little bit. Still, guy I'm very curious to watch because still kind of a wait and see here. Justin Fields at 25, a guy that I want to rank higher. It's just very tough to do when he has arguably, I think most people would agree, maybe the worst supporting cast in all of football. So that definitely does not help when I'm with these rankings predicting the upcoming season. I think Fields has all the upside in the world here. He's got the tools. The receiver and the receiver group and the offensive line, though, they didn't really, Chicago, I understand rebuild is the right decision. They didn't really help him out, Justin Fields, that is, this offseason for this year, though, so that's tough. Fields needs to help himself out a little bit, though, take care of the ball a little bit better. He fumbled way more than I expected. Getting the ball out earlier could help him. Again, all the tools in the world. Hopefully they get him some help in the near future because he could be a lot better than this here. So we'll see how he does. I can't wait to watch these second-year quarterbacks. 24, Zach Wilson, another second-year quarterback. And the difference between Wilson and Fields, who I had Wilson as my quarterback 2 going in the last draft, Fields quarterback 3. So they're right there with each other. Difference is the Jets are serious about taking that next step and being a better football team, serious about getting Zach Wilson help. They got him more help, offensive line and receiver group there. So I think Wilson can take more of that next step there. He's at 24, needs to hit those layup throws, those intermediate throws. Missed too many of those last year. I'm not worried at all about the downfield ball at all. Just the layup throws, got to be better. Got to hit those to work the field to win the time of possession to win football games. Jared Goff at 23. The Lions did a good job helping Jared Goff potentially get better this year. Offensive line was already solid. It could actually be, I could see it being better this year. Coaching staff, their second year. Amon-Ra St. Brown was a draft pick last year who really got going late. So Goff didn't really get, it felt like Goff was playing better as, St. Brown was in there, but Goff didn't really get the full him. Now he will. They had DJ Chark. They had Jameson Williams. So Goff could be better. Another guy that could be better as well, needs to be better, is Tua Tagovailoa for multiple reasons. He's not getting beat up because his offensive line's terrible. Offensive line should be better now. He's got better receivers. Waddle in his second year. Freaking Tyreek Hill is in there. And then mainly the coaching staff, actually, because this is a group, Mike McDaniel and company, that I think are going to simplify things for Tua Tagovailoa, make sure he gets the ball out quick, run the ball a lot, taking advantage of having those weapons that can get that separation and make sure he is looking in the right spot. He is in the right spot to get them the ball. So that should help Tua a little bit. He's got to play a lot better, though. Hurts has got to play a lot better as a passer. Too many games where the passing game was non-existent. They found ways to win with the running game and the defense, though. But as teams start to game plan and figure things out, this is the crunch time for the quarterbacks where they actually have to get better on where their weaknesses are. So I think, he took a step up last year. I think he could take a slight step up as a passer. I'm not fully investing in him as a passer. There was too many times last year where I think even fans were like, is Minshew going to help us more in this specific game? Things like that. So got to step up a little bit. But had his good moments, and he has A.J. Brown now, so that should help as well. Devontae Smith in his next year. So excited to see what Hurts can do, or if the Eagles look for a new quarterback after this next year. We will see. Next up, we got Carson Wentz at 20, which I do like the fit with the Commanders. We already evaluated the trade. They traded too much, it felt like, but now is how will Wentz be with the Commanders? I like the fit, because the Command. I talked about this several times, sound like a broken record, but Wentz going to the Colts. The Colts had to kind of change their offense a little bit, add some more RPO, which they didn't really have. Commanders were already running that as much as anybody, so it's just kind of like a perfect fit, but Wentz has to take care of the ball a lot better, especially in crucial situations. But he has Terry McLaurin. They had Jahan Dotson. They have some weapons at the running back position as well. Some guys that can catch the ball very well. So I actually think Wentz could, even though the Colts are probably a better team, the Commanders got a pretty good team. I think Wentz could actually play better than he did. I expect him to a little bit better than he did last year. Jameis Winston at 19. I believe in Winston here with the Saints. It's a good team, good roster, good offensive line. They added some good weapons at receiver. Just got to stay healthy, got to take care of the ball. Looked like he was starting to take care of the ball much better than the old Jameis Winston last year. So I got him at 19. This is more of my bold picks here, and again, a good example of it is predictions for the upcoming year. I did AFC and NFC quarterback rankings, and there was a bunch of people complaining about where I had Trey Lance ranked. They obviously didn't listen to the video. They thought I was ranking things based off the past, which is ridiculous. But Trey Lance, I mean, he's playing with the 49ers, playing in that Shanahan offense. I think he's going to play solid. I think he's played very solid for them. He'll have his hiccups, his mistakes here and there, but it's a very good situation. I think if you look at Zach Wilson or Justin Fields, I'd probably rank them even higher than 18 if they're in that 49ers situation. So I expect some hiccups, some bad games, but I think he'll play fairly solid for the 49ers this year. This is a good situation, really good situation. Tennessee Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill at 17. 2 years ago, he was incredible. Last year, he took a step down compared to 2 years ago. Is he going to take another step down? I don't know about a step down. Maybe staying around the same for him while other young guys probably pass him up. So that'd be why he's ranked maybe a little lower than where he's actually been ranked based off the past. Now we go to the top 16. A couple second-year guys. You got Mac Jones at 16, who played like the best rookie quarterback last year. He's looking a little more lean, a little bit more in shape. We've seen those pictures on Twitter a few days ago, so that's great. But yeah, was very impressed with him last year and can continue to grow here. I got Trevor Lawrence at 15. I think people complain about where I had Lawrence ranking those AFC quarterback videos. Again, I'm predicting the upcoming season. I think people base way too much off one season, and yeah, he could struggle still. It's definitely possible. I think he's going to play much better than last year. People forget about, they take away everyone, even their own prospect evaluations. They're still prospects, new coaching staff, better weapons in there as well. Lawrence is supposed to be a great quarterback. Does that mean he will be? That doesn't mean that, but I'm gonna trust evaluation. I think he's gonna step up this year. I got him in the top 15. Got Kirk Cousins at 14. Played fairly solid last year. Better offensive mind, offensive coaching staff in there under O'Connell. That could actually help Cousins. We know he has the weapons there. So I got him at 14. Him and Matt Ryan pretty close. Matt Ryan could be declining. That's a tough part, but he could also have a better year this year because he's going to a better situation. The offensive line of the Falcons last year was very, very bad. The weapons weren't really there either. The Colts, I guess the weapons, I wish there was some better receivers out there, with Michael Pittman, but they have that running game, a much better offensive line that he had in Atlanta. So I think Matt Ryan steps up this year, and he comes in at 13. We're out of the top 12. I got Kyler Murray at 12, 10, 11, 12, pretty damn close for me. That 10, 11, 12 tier. I got Kyler Murray at 12, still young, could continue to step up, which could help him get inside that top 10. Tough one to rank because he played like number one, for the first 6 weeks or so last year, and then the back half, maybe he wasn't even near 12. Maybe he was worse than that at times. So he's got to stay more consistent. As teams start to game plan for it more, he seems to go downhill. So is that going to be a common theme? But still young, still improving. So let's see if he can step up this year. No DeAndre Hopkins early, but he does have his former teammate Hollywood Brown. So I got Murray at 12. Got Derek Carr at 11. Adds Devontae Adams. That can help a lot. So I think Derek Carr could have a very solid season. Really was close with 10 and 11. Dak and Derek Carr was really close with them. But Dak Prescott at 10. We know he plays at a very high level in the regular season. Can he take the next step in those big-time games? But, another year off that injury could actually help him. So Dak could actually be better this year. So a reason why he's in the top 10. Russell Wilson at 9. Maybe a better situation than where Seattle was for, with where he is with Denver here, better in Denver, I should say, where he's going to. But, I guess kind of a wait and see. I trust that he'll be a top 10 quarterback, but we can't forget that he's coming off that weird hand injury, and he did not look anywhere near like the normal Russell Wilson last year. Doesn't mean he's going to stay like that, but it also doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be back to elite Russell Wilson. I'm more optimistic about him, the very good Russell Wilson being out there. Why I have him in the top 10 is just kind of a wait and see here. It's a risky one to rank him very, very high, even though this is kind of considered very high. But I got him at 9. Excited to see the new look Russell Wilson in Denver, new look Denver Broncos with Russell Wilson. Next up on the top 8, I got Lamar at 8, coming off that injury. I'm not really worried about him. Hopefully not running into too much contact, though. But I think he could take a step up as a passer as well, so that's the good thing about Lamar. Has room to grow there, and he can grow, so that puts him in the top 8, and we know how valuable he is and how dangerous he is to opponents. So got him at 8. Super Bowl winning quarterback, Matthew Stafford at number 7. Best case, they won the Super Bowl last year, but in terms of his play, his production, mainly what we judge on the regular season, the full regular season. Maybe he can take care of the ball a little bit better. But second year learning back in there. Allen Robinson coming to town. Different style receiver for Matthew Stafford. Maybe one of those receivers for the contested catch situations. Maybe on some of those balls that were picked, that a guy like Allen Robinson can go up and make that contested catch. So that actually can help him here. So I got him at 7. Joe Burrow took that leap last year, can continue to climb. He's up there with the big boys here. I got him at number 6. Better offensive line, so that could definitely help him quite a bit. I got the reigning MVP at number 5. Again, I'm predicting this upcoming season. So I gave the slight. I actually have the young guys, some of these young guys hopping over Brady and Rodgers here. Rodgers lost Devontae Adams. Does that mean he's not going to play like an MVP? No, I still think he'll play like an MVP, but maybe not quite as good. If he plays the same as what he did last year, not even better. He plays the same as what he did last year. It's ridiculous. He's going to be in that conversation. I guess it wouldn't completely surprise me, but I think you'd have to hand him the MVP there. But he comes in at 5. Very tough to split up these top dogs here. I got Tom Brady at 4. The old dogs there kind of get hopped by the young guys, as you can see in my predictions here for the upcoming season. Reason I had Brady over Rodgers, they were like 50-50 for the MVP for me. I gave it to Rodgers, was my pick, but it was so close, so I think they'll be so close again. Rodgers lost Devontae Adams. Brady comes out of retirement and then gets Godwin back, gets Russell Gage. Even a pickup like Rachaad White, a running back who's basically like a receiving running back. It definitely could help them a lot there. So I give Brady a slight edge this year in that 50-50 battle. For the MVP could be in there again. But I got some of these young guys passing them up. Justin Herbert, been very, very impressed with him. Some of the throws that he can make is, only guys like Allen and Mahomes really can make right now. So Herbert, and he's going to continue to get better until he's still learning. There's some defense that kind of mixed it up on him and gave him some problems. He can learn and get over that. Obviously, I keep saying his receivers let him down last year. They dropped the ball more than anybody in the league, receivers and tight ends. They will be better this year, in my opinion. Adding a guy like Gerald Everett's big. I think Keenan Allen will play better this year. There's too many mistakes in the red zone that hurt Herbert. So I think he'll be better this year for all those reasons, and he'll be in that MVP conversation. I got Patrick Mahomes at 2. And again, this is predicting the upcoming season. I'm going to give a slight edge. I'm going to predict and give a slight edge to Josh Allen. But if we're going to talk about like today, if I were to rank today, who's the best player in the NFL today, right now, based on what they've done, I'd probably lean Mahomes. Or you look at Brady and Rodgers as well, but we can't, just today, right this second, but I'm going to put Mahomes at 2. No more Tyreek Hill, but he's got more options out there, so very excited about that for Mahomes. But I'm going to put Josh Allen at 1. This is that year because, again, he's further along than what he's supposed to be, which is, so is Mahomes and Herbert maybe, but Allen's that ultimate guy. Like, who's that guy that is we thought would be good, had all the upside in the world, but is better than expected and further along than expected at this point. That, you see a picture of Josh Allen when you explain. You see that picture right above me here. So that's that guy. Though that means is he actually could still be getting a lot better, because he's still early on in that process. He was supposed to be this good at where he is now, maybe in 2 years from now. So what is he going to be this year in 2 years from now? It's pretty scary to think about. I think it's that time where he kind of takes over, runs the offense as well. Growing a stronger connection with those receivers. Gabriel Davis was getting a lot better last year. Obviously, having Diggs helps. I think James Cook is big time. He is the best receiving running back in the class, and even day one without even taking a snap, maybe one of the better ones in the NFL. The offensive line from the beginning of last year to the end, in the playoffs, night and day. They're kind of expecting that we'll get the end where they ended it off, which is a great thing for Josh Allen. I guess the only downside is, no Brian Daboll. Does that hurt him? So I guess that's the kind of wait and see. But some confidence with him. Confidence in a lot of these young quarterbacks here taking that step up. So a lot of these guys are so close. we got MVP candidates down to, I was going to say 5 with Aaron Rodgers there, but we could even go lower than that. Some MVP candidates, even 10, even 12, Kyler Murray. So some good quarterbacks. A lot of teams desperately looking for quarterbacks. There's a lot of really, really good quarterbacks in today's game. So these are my rankings. Again, predicting the upcoming season with these rankings. How I always do it. Not really too worried about the past while we're looking forward to this upcoming season. So I will do this for every single position group. We'll do it for units, duos, offenses, defenses. We'll rank all that like we do every offseason. So join us, like, subscribe, turn notifications on. We're talking to you guys about this video and other things on Twitter, rankings, everything, news, rumors. So check us out there at NFL. Link down below. Much appreciated if you can join us there for all of our content, whether it's here or on Twitter. That is going to do it for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.